afternoon, and thank you so much for joining with us in this rainy and windy afternoon. I'm Kanis Fatima, founder of Probashi. Today, I will moderate the session. I'm really glad to say that we have our chief guest, Dr. Sang H. Lee, Professor of Finance and Dean of BRAC Business School. We have with us our special guest, Saif Hossain, Assistant Professor and Director, BBA Program and Executive Secretary, Students Life, BRAC Business School, BRAC University. And we have our keynote speaker, A.H.M. Kamal, Executive Vice President, Head of Human Resource and Risk Management Community Bank, Bangladesh Limited. Apart from that, we are really glad to say that we have a bunch of youth crowd from BRAC University who are listening this session today with us. There is a big number who used to go outside and who are looking for good career in Bangladesh and international market. From that point of view, we have a specific students group who are directly connected with Probashi platform. Based on that, we are here today. Today, we are really happy to say that BRAC University, one of the leading university in Bangladesh, which is established in 2001, and from BRAC University, we got so many brilliant and vibrant students last 2 decades. So this university is with us today's session. Of course, we would like to invite our chief guest at first, Dr. Sang H. Lee. From Dr. Lee, I would like to listen from your experience about BRAC University. Dr. Lee.
Thank you very much, Fatima, and thank you, Probashi, for providing all these good public service for our youth, our young people in Bangladesh. Especially, I appreciate that you organize this event with BRAC University. My name is Sang Hoon Lee. I'm a dean of the BRAC Business School. I started working here in Dhaka since January 2020. So although almost 2 years, 1.5 years, but because of lockdown, I didn't explore much of the city, and I didn't have much chance to meet good people like you physically. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I cannot speak Bangla. So I will speak in English if you allow me. Now, nowadays, especially after pandemic, we've been hearing a lot every day, many times a day. Market is such uncertain place, so fast moving changes, hyper volatility. It's so difficult to predict for the future. Well, if you don't know how to predict, it's difficult to predict your future, how you prepare for the future. That's the issue. And that's the most important issue for our young people, particularly in the emerging market like Bangladesh. University education is something about past most of the time. As soon as you graduate, whatever you learn from university will obsolete, outdated, because as I said, world is changing so much. And university cannot predict that fast. So immediately after you graduate, whatever you learn will be outdated. You have to learn new things. Well, I see that many of our students take minor, major together, even double minor. Those are kind of complementary approach in case something goes wrong in my major area, because they said that majority of the current job will go away within certain number of years. So I take minor, something else, as a portfolio approach. That's good strategy. But again, you may miss the target, you may miss the prediction, completely wrong direction you may get. So here, my suggestion is that we call it in academics gradualism approach. I say is a snail step approach. Many of you know how snails move. If you look at it, it looks like it doesn't move at all. But you pay attention to something else and look back, it's already far away. That's many times I'm surprised. How come? They are moving slow, but over time, the distance accumulate. You reach certain level, next paradigm. So that's what you have to do because of uncertainty and because of your all overburdened work, taking class, taking exam, and doing all kind of extracurricular activities, helping household. You will be overburdened to learn extra. So that's why I'm suggesting gradual approach, step by step, just minimum 10 minutes more or 20 minutes more than anybody else to learn something, continuously develop yourself. Now, you also have to understand if you want to be an expert on certain thing, whatever it is, it takes minimum 10,000 hours of study and practice and engage. What will be 10,000 hours? If you work 8 hours, 5 days a week, if you calculate how many days, let's say you work 250 days a year, then it takes 5 years minimum. So if you work on certain area, certain discipline, 5 years continuously, then you become expert. You can teach others for that area, or you can, continue work on it, make a living out of these things. So, but sometimes students may take wrong direction, make mistake. You have to allow some margin of error. Then it may take 7 years. It may take 10 years to be expert. But if you are young like you are more susceptible, more sensitivity is much higher than older people. You can reduce those time if you start now, just 10 minutes, 20 minutes, self-development, gradual approach, snail steps you take, it accumulate, you become an expert on certain things within 3 years, or you can reduce much shorter. So that's another portfolio approach that in here you may target something for your self-development, something that you like to do for your life. You may choose discipline, or you may choose major for living. Yeah, you at the end you need to be a comfort zone. You make a good living first, and then you are thinking to do something that you like to do for your job, for your life. So target something that you like to do for your lifetime, and 10 minutes, 20 minutes every day, you work on, study, read, and move on, accumulate. And then you become an expert. Well, then you are in a good shape. That is a good approach, good strategy as a student. So start something easier, easy step first, and you will be able to walk away with more complicated, more challenging steps much easier later on after you graduate. Make it habit. We call it habituation. There are lots of spoilers, of course. Many bad friends will engage, interfere your effort, so that you can give up because they don't want you to be succeed. You will face many of these bad friends. But once you make these things as a habit, then it's much easier to achieve your target. You will train your muscle. Here we are talking about muscles in brain. If you don't use it, it will deteriorate. You see, nowadays, because of lockdown, I don't speak much. And sometimes I get together with my colleagues and I just forget about what could I say. And even my muscle in the tongue doesn't work correctly because I don't speak much. But after we get together and laugh much, all this muscle retrained and become natural. Same thing, your brain. If you continuously use on something, focus, every day, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to develop yourself, you will train your muscle in the brain and you become an expert. And then you become well educated. That's your goal. University, well, you get GPA, a CGPA of 4.0. It doesn't matter after you graduate. Maybe you get a first good job if you have a good diploma. But after that, it's up to you. You just self-develop yourself and become well educated. That is the major tool to become successful in your life. And I just suggest you one of the portfolio approach that every day train your brain muscle, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just extra steps you want to go. Then you become an expert on whatever you want to be. Then your life will be fun and interesting and affluent. That's my advice. Thank you very much. Sorry that I speak in English. Thank you.
So, Dr. Lee, thank you so much for your amazing speech. I have more question to you. I know you have intensive teaching experience in America, Korea, and Kazakhstan.
Yes.
So those massive and vast experience, you just came in Bangladesh. So how you will compare that country's business school or academic curriculum and BRAC University, Bangladeshi University, their business school and curriculum?
Well, one thing that I especially notice on the Bangladeshi student, intellectually they are superior. They are much brighter in terms of thinking, finding solutions, and looking for a better approach, always struggle hard. That is what I found good things compared to other countries like Kazakhstan, for example. They are on the communist system for a long period of time, more than 70 years. So even young students, their habit, their lifestyle is heavily influenced by their parents, their older generations, thinking, decision-making style, and so on. So what I could tell you is a real example. There's a manual that you have to give water to the grass at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a heavy rain, thunderstorm and heavy rain. Workers come out and giving water to the grass under the rain. So they are used to follow manual. They don't think much. Whereas I found, even sometimes I found it's too much. Bangladesh students thinking too much, find a better way, easier way, and sometimes they circumvent some hard way. So that's what I found main difference. But I think if you develop those habits, those skills in a good way, you can be creative. You can be always refresh yourself and find a challenge, new things. However, if it is used as a bad way, then you try to circumvent anything, any difficulty, everything you want to do easy way. So I recommend you to take the challenge and get a creative idea and make it positive way always. That's one thing that I can say.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure so many students are listening us in this platform. And Dr. Lee just mentioned that Bangladeshi students are more problem solver and they have more thinking capability and decision-making strategy, or they are very good decision maker and instant decision maker. So, of course, as a Bangladeshi citizen, I'm really glad to listen this thing from your end, and I hope and I know that the audience are listening, they will be encouraged as well from your speech. You came here in 2020, which is like almost 1.5 years you are in Bangladesh. So
yes.
It's a different experience. Like you are outside of Bangladesh and you are observing Bangladeshi students and you are sharing your experience, which usually we don't think. So this is a new window for us to think about our own citizens and students.
Yeah. So, now I think, I can tell you something that Bangladesh student can improve. compared to students in America, Korea, and Kazakhstan. Well, those students in America particularly, they are very straightforward, hostile against dignity, against established, against even faculty member. They have their own opinion and straightforward, have a courage to talk if there's something goes wrong. They put their opinion and consider, sir, please consider alternative way. However, I see that in Bangladesh, students are sometimes too passive. I think when faculty members say, do this way, there's no objection at all. I think BRAC University is a little different, but based on what I heard from other university students and other colleagues, they said Bangladesh students are quite submissive. They listen to the dignitary people. They listen to the older people, and they don't put much of objection. Well, that is not good for the society to develop, particularly in Bangladesh. 170 million people in a small land. The only asset is people here. You want to produce something. Economics 101 theory says you got to have 3 inputs: land, which is natural resource, labor, which is people, and capital, which is money. Probably Bangladesh has comparative advantage in labor area, people. You have to develop people, intelligent people. You have to make these people to think in elite way. Here, elite way, I am saying that elite who can create value, not only for themselves, but also others. So everybody in win-win situation, rather than seeking for rent and extracting others' value. You have to develop our young people to become a good elite, especially in Bangladesh. And now look around our situation. All this political elite, corporate elite, even academic elite, are they creating value for others or creating value for themselves? We had to critically look at the situation, and all our young people have to keep this in mind, that later they have to create value not only for themselves but also for other people. Then Bangladesh will excel their economic and human growth. That's my belief. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Dr. Lee. Exactly, that's what we believe. In a small country, we have very, very small, and it's a small land for Bangladesh. And in this small land, we have 150 million people, and where 47% are youth. So actually, we believe our people are our asset if we can create them skills. So yeah. This is one of the motto of Probashi, and we are working for that. And that's a very good point I just got from your speech, that our youth, they are accommodative. Actually, it's like the thing you just explained. I just pick one word, which is accommodative. They always try to accommodate their mentors, their senior people and teachers, and they try to accommodate their ideas to them. So which is, either way, it's a good thing. And sometimes, of course, we need to change and we need to modify this thing for better development. Dr. Lee, we are almost last in your session. My last question to you, I know you haven't got so much time in Bangladesh, but I'm pretty sure before coming in Bangladesh and after joining in BRAC University, of course, you are observing Bangladeshi students and you are observing Bangladeshi economy and Bangladesh as a country. So do you have any plan or anything in your mind and significant step you want to take as a dean of BRAC University Business School?
Yeah, in the BRAC Business School, there are many things that I would like to try. I'll try to introduce, and I want all the faculty members experience something that I experienced in other universities, and I'm positive about things. So I try to bring many initiative, mission-driven initiative to the BRAC Business School. One problem is all the faculty members are too busy at this time, teaching too many classes, and particularly we have many female faculty members. Under the lockdown, they have a double shift, caregiver, main caregiver at home, as well as in the professional life, teaching online so many classes and so on. So it is pity that I cannot bring as many initiatives as possible. But right now, what we are actively engaged, all our faculty members, is Research and Professional Development Center. We need some objective research institution, not prejudice, not sided with a certain corporation, objective independent research, and particularly in financial market. So we create this research center, and we are doing many opinion pieces, facts and stories, and to put all those new things, new thinking, new analysis in the website, bbsrpdc.com website. So that is one thing that I want to establish very strongly. So BRAC Business School become a center of the research within Bangladesh. Another thing that we are going to bring soon, that is woman entrepreneurship program. And here I observe, of course, many other countries, you see a lot of gender gap. And I think that gender gap here is a little deeper compared to other countries. And this is one of the major area that Bangladesh has to address to improve the situation, wage gap, status, social status, and all kind of gaps that is forced on the woman. So the best things to overcome is education and skill development. Then they become independent and become independent decision maker. That's a big jump from current status. So we try to introduce the best woman entrepreneurship program center here in BRAC Business School, certified by international organization, linked to many best practice university on these things. That's what we will expect soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, and I'm really glad to know that in your bucket list you have an intention to do something for women entrepreneurs. Being a women entrepreneur, of course, when I see someone is really enthusiastic and have willing to do something for Bangladeshi women entrepreneurs, I feel really glad. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee. We are moving to our next guest, our special guest, Saif Hussain, Assistant Professor and Director, BBA Program and Executive Secretary, Student Life, BRAC Business School, BRAC University. Welcome, Mr. Hussain. Thank you so much for joining with us. We know, Mr. Hussain, you have completed your undergraduate degree with the highest distinction. And of course, it's a very good academic qualification you have. And beside this, you are encouraging students to engage in different co-curricular activities, so which are very good combination. Most of the cases, students got afraid that if I go for co-curricular activities, my CGPA will go down and maybe my result will be not good. So let's focus on CGPA or skip the co-curricular activities. This is a common perception. So being or holding a very good academic background, you are encouraging and focusing on co-curricular activities as well. So how you will encourage current students to do both things parallelly with the successful and of course parallelly the academics part and the co-curricular activities?
Yeah, that's a very important question. I mean, the reason is this is very common amongst the students who are very good academically. I mean, this is their perception that, but you see, this is wrong because we have tons of examples of students who are, involved with co-curricular activities and having fantastic results. I mean, I can share a lot of examples with you. All right. Now, the added advantage is they get to enter the job market and excel faster than those who have, the same level of CGP and things like that. All right, I can give an example without naming. All right, so this student of ours, he was very actively involved with co-curricular activities, and his CGPA is very good. I mean, but he didn't graduate. All right, he didn't graduate. He was left with one of the, what do you say, one of the requirements. Let's not go into the details. But he's been working for 6 years in one of the best multinationals of the country. You understand what I'm trying to say? He was always involved with extracurricular activities, and like the second thing was his communication was very fantastic. So it's been 6 years, and now he's trying to get back and get done with it. I mean, it's a minor requirement. So what I'm trying to see is, you can see that it's not only the CGPA or the official certificate. You can end up being in a very first-class job in one of the best companies of Bangladesh. I mean, multinational companies of Bangladesh. With that, apart from that, a lot of students with good results, even if they're not involved with the extracurricular activities of the university, they are working somewhere else. You understand? So that's like utilizing their time. So what I mean is, it's not only that if you do some other things apart from your studies, you'll be missing out on your studies. It's not like that. It was never like that. So you can do things beside your studies. So it's really it's about perception. Like if you think that you can absolutely do it, and there are tons and tons of examples for that. So without deteriorating your studies, you can work, or you can do extracurricular activities. I hope I could answer.
Speaker is here already with us, and I hope our keynote speaker, Mr. A.H.M. Kamal, FCMA, Executive Vice President, Head of Human Resource and Risk Management, Community Bank, Bangladesh Limited. He will explain more and detail about the gaps and how employers want to get their employees, what are the things they look into the freshers, and what are the key skills they look for their best employees and everything. So I would like to invite Mr. A.H.M. Kamal, and he will present us his keynote, and after that we will go for the question and answer session. So Mr. A.H.M. Kamal. And I would like to request our Probashi team to display the presentation for his support.
তুমি যে কাজটা করতে পছন্দ করো সেটি করো in your right area, then you decide in which area you will build up your career. Okay, so what is coming first, you have to understand in which area you will build up your career, whether you will be a government officer, or you work in multinational companies, or you will work in R&D sector, or you will be a banker, or you want to develop your career in service sector. Then identify where you have the most interest. Is it finance and accounts, or is it human resource management, or sales and marketing, credit analyst or financial analyst, investment banking, supply chain management, IT? Even IT, some segregations are there, like programming, database administration, ICT security, IT business, network, hardware. Lot of options are there. You must select where you have the best strength, where you like most, and what strength you have. Okay. So, for example, you have very sound skills in financial figure, then you can choose accounts and finance.
One last person to join with us, Aisha Abdullah. Actually, we tried to put a session, we tried to select and invite our guests like policymaker, teacher, and student point of view, and at the same time our real field experienced person. So altogether, the last person, Aisha Abdullah, she is the Vice President, BRAC University Business Club, which is BISB. So I would like to ask one very important question to her, and she will represent the audience group actually, because she is a running student of BRAC University. So Aisha Abdullah, thank you so much for joining with us. I would like to ask one very significant question to you, that as a female, as a woman, what are the challenges you faced to do your co-curricular activities, to continue your club activities? Two contests. One is your friends and university point of view, and another is your social point of view. Please share your experience during your co-curricular activities, especially the challenges.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fatima. To start off, I think from the beginning of university, we're met with a lot of challenges, not only in co-curricular activities, but in our career as well. As a female, I wouldn't say at BRAC University I've experienced anything different to my male friends or male people that I know or classmates. I would say the experience is pretty much the same. I think it's very important to hear from experienced individuals like Mr. Kamal, Mr. Hussein, and Mr. Lee, and yourself. I think all of these really helped me as a person, because in Bangladesh, there isn't a lot of guidance, especially when you're in university, for careers, and there aren't a lot of people that actually help you and guide the way. So I think sessions like these with amazing speakers who are experienced really helped me and have helped me overcome the challenges that I've had.
The first question, three questions I will take. One came to me, and one came to Mr. Saif, and one came to Mr. Lee. And the first question is for Team Probashi. Benojir, he asked that how Probashi can connect us with NRBs, and how does Probashi plan to connect with NRBs who can mentor us for our specific issues. In the beginning, I mentioned it that we're trying to create a platform where we believe our people are our asset. So non-resident Bangladeshi who are living in outside of the country, or maybe who are planning to come back in Bangladesh again, they can share their experience, their skills to our people, and they can be our mentor through our Probashi platform, so that the people who are looking for a very good career and higher education, maybe in Bangladesh or maybe outside of Bangladesh, they will be mentored directly, the first-hand experienced Bangladeshi people. I have a very interesting question to Mr. Saif. Shamima Afroz, she asked that, what co-curricular activities are more relevant to study abroad and improve employability? Mr. Saif.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, but I believe you see, it's not necessary that your extracurricular activities specific, like if you have only this extracurricular activity, only then you get scholarship. It's not like that. Someone asked something about politics, like how, oh yeah, I got it. How to avoid club politics and focus on skill development. Why would you avoid that? I mean, that's the first question, the counter question that I'll have for you. You'll find it everywhere, no matter where you go. Like the moment you step out and join the corporate world, it's more intense over there. So what you do is, the best strategy is to be honest and fight it out. You understand? That's something that works wherever you go. So you can't really avoid that, and you can't really change the system by being outside the system. This is something I don't like. I don't like politics. You see, we have termed it so negatively that people who should be into politics are avoiding it. So I think that's something we have to change. Like you have to be there and fight it out. All right. So for focus, I mean, being there and fighting is also skill development, and you're gonna need it in the corporate world as well. All right, so I think I answered your question, Afsana. Thanks for asking that. All right, thanks, Ms. Kanis. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Saif, because this is the beginning. After this club politics, you have to face the corporate world politics as well. So work-life politics, there are so many politics in the career and the professional life you have to face. So why not start from the club politics?
And it's not only limited to Bangladesh, or it's globally. I mean, it's there. It's not only in Bangladesh. So you have to accept that. If you want to change it, you can't avoid it. You have to accept it and change it and turn it into something good.
Thank you so much for the audience who stayed with us for last 1 hour and 50 minutes. So we already 20 minutes ahead from our scheduled time. And thank you so much, our special guest. Thank you, Mr. Saif. Thank you, Mr. A.H. Kamal. And obviously, I'm not saying here Dr. Lee, but that was really inspiring. And he mentioned so many things, which is really motivating and helpful to the students. Thank you to the BRAC University students, our Probashi team, Pro Learning team, and apart from this team who had joined willingly in this session. We hope to back with another university very soon with another resources and maybe with some other topics as well. So stay with Probashi, and thank you so much and very good evening to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. I love this.